Good morning and welcome to this morning's devotional. This morning we are going to look at the theological word glory. Now, when we hear glory, it's one of those words we kind of go, I think I know what it means, or if I saw it, I think I have an idea of what it is. But even in this chapter, as J.I. Packer tries to give us the idea of what it means for us to see God's glory and give glory to God, it's still sort of not entirely clear. Let me show you what I mean. He says this, he says, the to and fro of seeing glory in God and giving glory to God is true fulfillment of human nature at its heart. And it brings supreme joy to man just as it does to God. So there's something about this word glory that when we see it in God, we should respond a certain way. Now, he starts to clear it up a little bit more in the chapter when he starts to help us understand it, when he talks about how glory sort of equals weight. And we're not talking about weight as in patience, but W-E-I-G-H-T, that there is a weight to the glory of God. And as I was thinking through it, I thought to myself, I think we might know exactly what this word means. And the way I want to kind of present it to us this morning is that when we see the weight, we respond to it. There's several different examples of that. The first is, I don't know if you've ever been starstruck before. If you've seen a celebrity or see someone famous in person as you're walking by them, I used to watch a bunch of celebrity reaction videos, and one of my favorite ones were the ones where these teenage girls were meeting Justin Bieber. So they would see the weight of that moment and they would give a particular response to it. Another would be, imagine you were searching for buried treasure and you found a giant pile of gold. And my mind immediately goes to that moment in National Treasure when they finally find the buried treasure and they respond to the weight of that moment properly. Or another one would be if we're watching the Steelers play and they score a touchdown. We see the weight of that moment and we respond a certain way. And depending on how big of a moment that is, the preseason versus the Super Bowl will determine the way that we respond. And so I think what J.I. Packer is really trying to get at here is when we truly see the glory of God, we should respond a certain way. If we're going to respond with some weight in a particular way when we see a pile of gold, or if we're going to see a celebrity in person, then we should be responding even more to God. And so when we see God show us his glory, and when we glorify him with what we do, we need to respond to that in a particular way. Maybe that's worship, maybe that's telling someone about Jesus, maybe that's sharing it in some way, shape, or form. But when we see the weight and glory of God, we should respond to it. I hope that helped clear up a little bit more about what this word would mean, and I hope that you give glory to God and God shows you his glory this week, and that we respond properly.